It's great to see you. I am really excited to talk to you guys today about the topic how practicing kindness can transform lives, like not only your life, but the lives of the people around you. And how this really showed up for me this week was a close friend of mine shared with me that, some pretty significant things were happening in her life, and she was going to be making some really big changes. And the reason why this really struck me was because I just had no idea that this was going on for her. And what it made me think about was that, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors for each other. We really don't. We don't know, that maybe when we see each other, that maybe getting out the house that day was just so hard, getting the kids dressed and not feeling motivated. We don't know that maybe people's marriages are falling apart, or maybe a family member is struggling with addiction or illness, and I think at the end of the day, that's okay. We don't need to share everything with everyone, I think when we're ready we can, but, I don't necessarily think that that's, what it's about. But I felt like just remembering that, we really don't know what goes on for each other behind closed doors. And that, what we can do for each other, though, is just practice kindness toward each other. And, I just felt like that's just this way to transform some of the things that we may be going through. If we're just being kind to each other and sharing something nice with someone else, that really has such a potential to transform things. And not only for that other person practicing kindness, and maybe it's just even the random people, but even for yourself. And this is what I think is really interesting as well. There's a lot of research and studies out there at the moment talking about how people with mental illness or depression, and how practicing kindness can really transform that illness and what people are struggling with depression and things at that time. And there's just a few things I wanted to share with you guys about it, because I thought you might also find it interesting. Studies actually show that thinking about, observing, or practicing a kind act stimulates the vagus nerve, which literally warms up the heart and may be closely connected to the brain's receptor networks for oxytocin, the soothing hormone involved in maternal bonding. Kindness also triggers the reward system in our brain's emotion regulation center, releasing dopamine, the hormone that's associated with positive emotions and the sensation of a natural high. So we can get those great feelings just by practicing kindness toward each other, whether they're people we know or we don't know. And I just wanted to share that with you because I just felt like, for me, that was what was top of mind. And while I was just kind of doing a little bit of research and wanting to read what I just did to you, I came across this really beautiful story that just almost made me teary when I was reading it, and I wanted to share it with you guys to just kind of sum it all up. So it goes like this. An American soldier who'd been in Iraq was taking a mindfulness-based stress reduction course offered by the Army upon his return. He had been struggling with anger and was severely critical of others, like so many of us, right? After a few weeks in the course, he began to learn the classical trainings in loving kindness meditation, in which you repetitively practice sending goodwill to yourself and others. One day, he was waiting to pay for a few things on the express line at the supermarket. The woman in front of him not only had more than 12 items in her cart, she was also showing off a little baby to the cashier, who was then gushing over and holding the baby. The cashier was taking quite a bit of time to talk with the woman in front of him. Oh, great, he thought. Not only is this woman in the wrong line, she's chit-chatting about her baby. This is taking much longer than I thought it would. I hate waiting. And I hate it when people don't follow the rules. And why is this cashier so slow? I have a half mind to tell them both off right now. And how many of us have had those thoughts go through our minds, right? When he got to the register a few minutes later, he realized that the little baby really had been really cute and decided to mention this to the cashier. She replied, "Oh, you think so? Thank you. That's my son. Because my husband was recently killed in action, my mom takes care of my baby much of the time. She brings him here to work every day so I can see him. Like, seriously, that makes me teary. Guys, kindness. That's all it is. I hope you guys have a great day, a great week. Shine bright, everyone. If you got value out of this, please tag someone that maybe needs to hear it or write a comment below. Love you guys. Bye.